What is up, you guys? My name is Ash. Welcome to our second edition of our podcast, Making Music While the World Falls Apart.
Yep. I'm Malcolm, and we've got our special guest here, Davina, a local music educator. Do you want to tell us a bit about yourself?
Yeah, hi. I'm Davina. I teach at local government schools. I teach music, and I work here at Fiddlesticks. So,
Yay!
yeah.
Excellent. So you do, what type of music teaching do you do?
So I teach just general classroom music to kids that have had maybe no music experience at all. So we kind of start right from the start, like what's beat and rhythm, and just listening to different types of music.
Excellent. So what ages are you normally teaching?
All through from like prep up to year 6.
Okay.
Primary school.
Excellent.
Yeah, all the primary school kids.
So Ash and I are both working at schools as well. And also I'm working at Fiddlesticks as well. And I'm teaching concert band, grade 5 and 6, concert band, and grade 2 strings program. So how about you, Ash? What are you working on?
I just do private instrumental teaching at a couple of high schools. In Warble, represent.
Excellent. That's great. And in your school classroom, is it generally everyone has to be part of the class, or is it?
Yeah. So expectation is, everyone comes in, and the goal is to have everyone engaging in the lessons.
Excellent.
So my goal is to make it as hands-on as possible, and to get kids experiencing as many different instruments as possible.
What are some of the challenges you think you can come across when you got a classroom of kids that can be a challenge especially for people with less experience?
As in, like, the type of kids that come in?
Yeah, managing some of the different abilities, because I've already noticed in our teaching, we have the super keen kids who are really advanced and like so far ahead of everyone. And then there's some who don't want to be there, basically.
Yep.
And I don't know if you have any techniques that you're using to try and survive that.
Yeah. So I try and make the tasks kind of open-ended, and my expectation of the kids, I adjust that depending on who it is. So if I know that there's a kid who is in the room and for them that's a big step, I'm like really happy that they're there.
Yeah.
Even if they're sitting up the back, maybe just watching, that's okay.
Yeah.
And then you kind of, graduate. Like I did a lot of rhythm last term. So we'd be, clapping rhythms or playing them on instruments like castanets and things. I level them up, and I kind of go, okay, so we're going to be reading the rhythm. We're going to play the rhythm and say the rhythm in your head, or maybe whisper it out loud.
Yeah.
So I kind of give them like where they're at. So how did you go? What did you do? Did you just read the rhythm? Did you play the rhythm? So everyone can access the task kind of where they're at.
Excellent. That's good. And in any of those classrooms, do you have any ensemble playing?
We're getting there. So the schools I'm working at this year, one school has never had performing arts before.
Okay.
So it's brand new, like no resources.
Hello, Victoria. That's common. Our sad state of music education.
Yeah. So I was, there had been a private music instructor previously that did keyboards and guitars.
Yeah.
And they left for whatever reasons.
Yeah.
And so there's like 8 keyboards and maybe about 8 guitars. So I was able to set up the keyboards for us last term as like one instrument, which was brilliant because it's easy to access. I use lots of colored, like a color-coded system to make it even easier.
Yeah. That's one thing I noticed with violin learning, because we've often taught beginners with a color-coded system for the strings. And then working in an environment where they don't use that, they just use the letter names of the notes, how much easier it is for some kids to remember the colors versus the letter names. For some reason, it just helps them connect more easily.
Yeah.
For some kids, it's very interesting.
Oh no, absolutely. Because I what I do is like I have the colors as well, because they've got like basically zero knowledge unless there's someone that's been doing a lot of private music lessons. And then I have like a display that matches. So I always tell them, like, I'm not trying to like trick you here. Like there's like on the wall, have a look, like it's going to help you, like have a look up there and have a look at your keyboard. And so I talk in note names and colors. And when we get a little bit further along, I use like the solfege pictures and stuff in there too.
That's great. Yeah. Excellent.
Wow.
So I like to, just you want to give them lots of different ways to access the information.
Yeah.
Because, some of them need the colours, some of them need the notes, some just need to listen to it and then go, hang on, where was that on the violin? And
I think that's a really good point, having all the different options, because I notice even with my own kids, like my son is super strong at playing by ear, and he really doesn't read music, even though he's like learned it, but not really strong at it.
Really?
Whereas, other kids are really strong at reading the music, and that seems to be how their mind works almost. Like,
yes. Yeah. No, I had, a kid in one of my classes. We were doing one of the popular songs that, to play along. We were just doing basic chords, with a little YouTube play along. And up the back, I could hear this little riff going on that this kid had been like, and he's just figured it out. And so, every time it popped up, there it is. So he was, just listening by ear. He's like, no, this playing the chords is too easy for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, he just naturally up-leveled that, and it's,
That's great. I think one of the coolest success stories I've had is one of my really advanced string students is in recess teaching some of the other kids.
Aww.
Which is really cool.
I love that so much.
It's really good that can happen when they can start mentoring those who are more behind and
Yeah.
that are still keen, but they just need more work to learn.
Well, even like the school I worked at the previous few years, and I had a really strong lunchtime program, which was basically me opening up the music room door and saying, come on in, come and play. And one of the things last year that was just amazing was I had these kids that discovered the music room, and were like, they'd come in and they'd play the keyboards and the guitars, and they were showing their friends all these little ditties from computer theme music and stuff.
Yeah.
But in contrast to during the school term, when they had music, they would not come into the classroom. They would whinge, they'd moan, they'd be like, oh, music's really awful, and other words. But
because they had to do it.
Because they was, they asked to come in and do music, but they hadn't given it a chance. They hadn't actually come in and gone, because we were using the keyboards. We were using all the instruments still during our class program. But they hadn't given it a chance. But when they were given the opportunity just to, at their own pace, come in, it's a smaller group, it's quieter, they really, really responded well to that. And then these kids started voluntarily coming in and spending lunchtimes in the music room and teaching their friends.
Yeah, that's great. Because I think that's what we need to do. I mean, this brings us to, I think, an important point is we would like to talk about the state of music education in Victoria public schools in regional Australia. It's a very sad state at the moment in general, in my experience. So all my kids are in the public schools, and I think music is pretty much non-existent in our local primary school. Not choir, even not really any performances. I mean, they did sing something at Christmas time, which was a step up from maybe the past. But the one thing I've noticed, there's a big divide being created. There's so much research that shows the benefits in development of having access to music programs. And you've got in the private schools here, you've got quite advanced music programs. And the kids are having access to learn concert band instruments, strings, all these instruments. Now, my dream is to bring a strings program into public schools here in the region. But the challenge is, even if you have that vision, and even if you want to help finance it, it's hard to get buy-in. Like, it feels like it's really low priority here in Victoria. It's like the bottom of the priority for schools.
Absolutely. I totally agree with that.
Do you have any ideas how we can fix it? Is it even possible?
We just need to buy instruments for every school.
Yeah.
But I think the biggest factor is like one big factor is your leadership group that you have at each school. So if you've got leadership that loves music, that values music, maybe they've had experience in music, or they just know and
how important it is,
and they just love it. they will find a way
to make it happen.
To create, yeah, which is how I ended up at one of my schools this year, because a new principal came in and went, cool, I love music. We need to, get a music program in.
Yeah.
And so they went looking for a music teacher.
Yeah, because I think
that was good.
You were one of the first ones at the school.
So this school is it's actually got their 140th anniversary this year.
Wow.
So it's an old primary school.
Wow.
And I'm not sure if it's but apparently they've never had a music program. Like
Wow.
there's not even egg shakers.
well,
or
that's
ribbon
a good
sticks,
progress, because a lot of the schools have been
So-
getting rid of music programs, and to start
Yeah.
adding it, that's a way forward.
Yes.
Because I do believe, like, a lot of excuses are around we don't have the budget, but I do believe if you have a will, you can find ways to work around any budget. Like,
yeah.
music can be done very at low cost.
Yeah, it's also, I think, a matter of staffing and and the specialist subjects
Specialist
and
subjects.
what sort of they're allowed to allocate
Yes.
time-wise. So there are different, I can't find the right word, but for different subjects, like LOT, learning another language is like mandated. So you
Yeah.
have to have another language taught.
Yes.
And then you have Digitech's been really, really big.
Yeah,
So just your online safety, and that is taken a priority.
yeah,
So a school that I did work at now has no music, but they do offer Digitech now.
right.
So that's just one
It becomes the lowest
example
priority, essentially.
that, and you just have to have the people that support it and to put the push in.
So people who support it, come be leaders at our schools, please.
So
Get on with it.
yeah. And I mean, in contrast, I work at another local-ish primary school who is not a government school, but they've had a fantastic music program for a number of years.
Yeah.
So when I started there, there's all the instruments. You've got this set of ukuleles and there's keyboards and the guitars and just everything. And coming in, you go, oh, cool. And the kids already have like a base knowledge here.
Yeah.
So we could start here. And then we can build on that. So yeah, goals to create little, give them the skills to have like a little ensemble group.
Yeah, and I think the leadership is a big challenge, because I noticed at the school where I'm working at, which is a non-government school, but the leadership is just so passionate about music and making it a priority. Even with relatively low budgets, they still make a lot of things happen. So I think creative people can be creative with limited budgets and make things happen. It's just finding the will to make it a priority is the challenge.
Yeah, just opportunities.
Yeah. Okay. We'll talk about some other topics now. Should we talk about what's going on? What's going on in Gippsland?
What's going on in Gippsland?
Ash, what have you been doing?
I've been doing rehearsals for Diary of a Wimpy Kid. So that's going to be at West Gippsland Arsenal this week,
Yep, nice.
Tuesday through Friday.
Yep.
Yay.
Nice. And I've got Les Mis opening
This evening.
April 10th to 19th. The biggest show I've ever done. Crazy. And it's really hard. So, I'll make it through. Hopefully I make it through opening night. It's
Oh my gosh.
Should be brilliant.
it's got an awesome sounding orchestra. Best sounding orchestra I've ever had in a community musical. Everyone is really expert at their instruments, which is so nice. Often in community theater, you can't always get the best players, but for this show, I managed to get the best. So it's really good. It just sounds so good.
Yeah.
Everyone is really a master of their instrument, which makes it a little easier for me. And then the cast sound amazing. Our first dress rehearsal, I couldn't hear the singing at all. It was very stressful because we're in a separate room. We couldn't use the orchestra pit, and because we don't fit in the orchestra pit, we're too big, and it was just so horribly painful. But they fixed it. We got headphones yesterday, and it was a lot smoother. We could hear what was going on. I felt like a lot safer knowing that we were matching with the singing.
Oh my gosh. So who has the headphones? So you're in the band or just...
Some of the band, and hopefully more of the band will have some tonight. Luckily, shout out to my amazing flute player. She brought 20 headphones.
Really?
And then we had some Kate McAllister. She's awesome. and she'll be doing Come From Away with me as well. And she from teaching, she had like a whole bag of headphones, so that was
My
awesome.
gosh.
So that should be crazy.
So where did you choose your musicians from? Where did you pick them
Our musicians are from all over. We've got people coming from Korumburra, Leongatha, Warragul, Maui,
Wow.
and then from Melbourne. So some of the players from KC Philharmonic are playing. So that's one way we were able to get all these amazing players, is we just managed to pull everything from everywhere. And as a result, we had to minimize our rehearsals to 2 rehearsals with the orchestra, which is minimal, which is crazy for such a big 3-hour show, nearly 3-hour show. But they're also good. It's been fine. And then we had like 2 tech rehearsals with piano, and then 2 dress rehearsals on top of that. So that was good. And the 6 Pro. But it was, it's coming together. And it's a big challenge. There's so many tempo changes. It's just like constant. It's
Wow.
I'll be relieved when it's over, but it's being good building up my experience. I feel like it's pushing me to be so much better as an MD surviving this. Assuming I do.
Oh my gosh. Back when you started rehearsals, I remember you said something like, it's the most stressful thing you've ever done.
My gosh. I don't know if I could do this actually.
My gosh.
I did Into the Woods, which is pretty complicated, but Into the Woods, the difference is you get a little bit of time to think between songs. Whereas Les Mis, like there's a dialogue break and you can think about, okay, I can mentally prepare for the next section. Les Mis, you can't. It's just constant. Next song. Change tempo. There's no time to think about, get in the mindset for the next thing. Yeah. So it's just constant for 2.5 hours of music, basically.
Wow.
So, but we're getting there, and it sounds pretty good. So it's exciting. That's with Upstage Theatre. It's my first time doing a show in Berwick.
So, Berwick.
Yeah.
Catching that V line.
Venturing into the city. Let's not talk about the train system in Victoria.
Oh my god.
So nice that they've offered free travel, but they still can't get the trains to work.
Yeah, twice now I've had to catch
Yeah, really?
Yeah, so they got this nice, for the next month, free travel, but they don't work. So that's right.
Yeah, and I just saw like the Footscray Miners buses now for the month. So great work.
Brilliant.
For free
I don't know,
trains.
Davina, have you seen anything that you think you might go see?
Oh, well, yeah, definitely. I've got the Diary of a Wimpy Kid in my diary.
Journal.
Yep. There's quite a few kids in there that I go, oh, look, I know them. Well, I love to go and support the kids on stage and what they're doing. And and then, I've contemplated the Les Mis.
Yeah.
Me too.
I'm not sure where it will fit in.
Yeah, fit into schedule.
I have like 4 different shows open in my phone going, which ones will I buy tickets for?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It should be good. We've got
There's a lot going on.
Jane for Fiddlesticks is playing on the Friday and Saturday night shows, so that's nice.
Yay, like each weekend.
And so nice when she plays. It's just so much easier to conduct. She's so good at following conducting. It's just really
brilliant.
It feels like so much easier.
Yay.
Yes.
But anyway, okay. What else have we got?
What are we kind of already said what we're working on, but
What are we listening to? What are we listening?
Okay. What are we listening to?
Have you got something you want to say?
Davina,
have you been listening to?
Davina, what have you been listening to?
Listening. Look, I try and put on some of my music occasionally, but quite often it gets hijacked by my kids.
Right.
So, and it's always interesting hearing what they're into at the time, because sometimes it's new things. I'm like, oh, where did you hear that? And at the moment, though, my 11-year-old, he's really, keeps putting in the Michael Jacksons into the playlist.
Yeah.
Dotted with a bit of Aussie music. Men at Work is featuring a lot as well.
Nice.
Yay.
So, and we have a soft spot for Queen, so there's always some Queen tracks
Aww.
floating around. So, And I dabble a little bit when I'm playing guitar as well. So that's kind of my listening and playing kind of zone, I guess.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about you, Ash? What have you been listening to?
I have like migrated my musical theater interest recently. I think that's really interesting. I've like stopped listening to what I used to listen to, like Dervin Hanson and Waitress, and I've gone into Jess and Robert Brown.
Okay.
Like Parade and Songs for a New World and The Last 5 Years. Like they're my 3 right now.
They're your 3 on repeat?
Yeah, I've migrated.
Nice.
Yeah. Because someone I know from my China tour like works with Jason Robert Brown. So I've just been like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. So I've just been listening to Jason Robert Brown.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's me.
Excellent.
What about you, Malcolm?
As for myself, I've been just listening to nostalgic music mainly. 90s hip hop.
Yay!
TLC.
My gosh, I saw someone wearing a TLC shirt walking into Woolies yesterday.
Crazy Sexy Cool album. I just
my
love it. I don't think I even liked it in the 90s, but I like it now. I think I remember it must be nostalgia or something. I don't know why I like it so much now, but and also Fugees.
Who?
The Fugees, you don't know them?
No.
You better get educated.
The Bee Gees wrong, but
You better get educated. They're
My gosh.
that was with Wyclef Jean and Lauryn Hill, and
Really?
can't remember the other people, but very cool music.
Wow.
You should have a listen to something different.
What era is that?
It's 90s
My
hip hop.
gosh.
So yeah, I've been listening to that old school stuff and taking a break from listening to Les Mis rehearsal tracks. Finally, rehearsal tracks, which I've been listening to like for nonstop. So yeah, that's what's been happening. Okay, any other topics?
West End updates and Malcolm's news project.
Oh yeah.
So on my big journey trying to get to the West End, let me give you guys some updates. What's been happening? I had my first audition for a West End show. Oh my god.
Wow, that's good.
Oh my god. I put in an audition for 6 on the West End.
Yeah.
I don't see many open auditions for that, but I just saw this one because my MD from China was the MD for 6 when it started, so she like shared it, and then I saw that and I applied for assistant MD, which is so crazy, and I have like not qualified for that, but I applied anyway. Wish me luck.
Yep.
If I don't hear back in 4 weeks, then I assume I don't have it, is what they said to me. So
That's
we'll
right.
see. We'll wait for 4 weeks.
4 weeks. That's a lot. 4 weeks.
Yeah, you guys.
Excellent. Well, it's probably gonna. It often takes quite a few auditions anyway to get into some of these shows. So
Like smell.
I know people in the professional orchestral world, they often goes through so many auditions to eventually get those gigs. So they're pretty competitive.
Yeah.
But it's good.
I've been auditioning since like I got back from my tours, and it's been a bit hard to get another one. So
And I think the big challenge with auditions, right? You get no feedback on what they don't like.
yeah.
That's the biggest challenge.
Oh, really? They give you nothing.
No. I think one of the saddest examples of a professional audition, somebody told me, somebody from here was super overconfident about his skills. He was, let's just say, a diva, or, and he's like, I'm the greatest person in the world, and he's like, I'm going to audition for this Melbourne Pro show, and it's going to be easy because it's only against other Melbourne people, so how can it be hard? and apparently he sang for like 5 seconds, and then they're like, see you later. It was like brutal. Like, it was just, you're not what we're looking for.
That's not even who I thought you were talking about. Oh my god, you guys.
Oh,
that's so sad.
So it can be harsh reality. And
wow.
So yeah, tough work.
So bad. Uh-oh, what happened to it? Is it still recording?
Yeah.
It's just not on the laptop. will it still have got our recording?
I forgot to mention the West Gippsland concert band.
Oh yeah, you should mention. Oh yes.
Yeah.
We'll ask you about that. We'll edit it. We'll put it back in the order.
I forgot.
Oh yeah. Tell us. And you're also playing the West Gippsland concert band?
Yes.
Wow. What do you play in the?
So yeah, I play flute.
Excellent.
Yeah. So yeah, a couple of years ago, Niels arrived in Warragul and was like, "I'm going to do a concert band workshop for kids." And I was like, "Cool! I want to come along. I want to know how to teach some flute, clarinet to kids." And then he's like, all these adults are hovering around. And he's kind of like, "Well, what if we had a like a concert band for like grown-ups and stuff?" I'm like, "Yes, please." Like
That's great.
Since I moved to the area, there hasn't been like a concert band.
No.
I travelled to Pakenham for a few years when my eldest was still portable. And he'd let me go out in the evening and, he'd sit in the band rehearsal with me. And when he started screaming through that, I had to leave.
Oh, yeah.
And so when do they rehearse?
So West Gippsland Concert Band rehearses Monday evenings at 7 p.m. And they also have this amazing Greenhorns training band program, which is a free program for anyone that goes, "Hey, I'd like to learn a trumpet. I'd like to pick up a clarinet. I used to do that, but I haven't played that instrument for a while. You can come along." And from 5:30 on Mondays, there's a beginner band program. Niels gave it a really cute name, but I can't remember what it was.
Silly.
So that's 5:30 Mondays during school terms, and it's free. And you
Nice.
turn up, and there's people from the band and other musicians are there to teach you.
That's great. I love that program.
Yeah,
It's amazing.
And as you progress, you can join the actual Greenhorns band, and then we do lots of community performances around the place through the year.
Nice. Do you have any concerts coming up planned or not yet?
There are some things in the works, but I
Not
can't
official.
remember.
Top secret.
Well,
Oh, you can't. I thought you were going to say you can't say yet.
let's just call them
I know.
top secret. Sounds better.
Yeah. I know you do have the October 24th Yarrigan youth music something or other.
Is that the
the-
one that you made or that Niels made?
That's Neil's ones.
That's in
Yes.
October.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
Yes.
October 24th. Yeah.
Yes, it is. I did see
Nice.
that.
So, Malcolm, is that the band that you played in at the Forecourt Fridays that I saw?
They played before us.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. They played at the Forecourt Fridays the previous
Yeah?
year. Yeah.
And what was the band that you played in that night?
That was with Hot Pockets.
Oh, yeah.
I think.
Okay,
Was
cool.
that the right name?
Hip
Hip pockets.
Hip Pockets. Yeah. Hip Pockets.
And they had the big
They are
horn
so good.
section,
Yeah,
didn't
they're
they?
from South Gippsland, and they invited all the horns to come play.
Really?
That was really cool. They're an amazing band from South Gippsland.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
they're top notch. I want to collab with them one day. It's
Yeah.
on my wish list.
Wow. Where was Niels from before he came to Warragul? Was it like Shepparton?
No.
He's lived in Australia for a little bit.
Netherlands.
But Netherlands
Yeah.
is his home territory.
Yeah, he's a top notch, world class classical saxophonist.
Mm-hmm.
My God.
Performed in all the top places and with the big orchestras around the world. And
Wow.
he's even performed with the McCaffrey family.
Oh!
I heard Christmas concert last year.
Yeah.
He did the Marcello oboe concerto. But we
Marcello.
did Marcello
Yeah,
oboe concerto.
Marcello. All right.
But he did it
I know
on
someone named Marcello.
he did it
Go Italians.
yeah. But he did it on soprano sax instead of oboe, which was awesome.
Really?
So, yeah.
Branching out.
And everyone said it's the most in tune they've heard soprano sax ever.
Really?
Yeah, so that was good.
Oh my God.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow, brilliant.
What's Malcolm's newest project?
Well, we are in the process of creating a non-profit organization to promote arts and culture, and it's very close to actually being officially formed.
Wow.
It should be called Creative Communities Australia is the plan. And I've got my cello student's mum. I'm teaching for the cello student for free in return for her. She's helping me do all the organization for helping get it started because I'm insanely busy and very oversubscribed to the amount of things that I do already. And so she's helping with a lot of the admin side of getting it started. And we will have our first board meeting in the first week of May to inaugurate, apply for nonprofit status and so on. And
Wow.
it's just going to make it easier to apply for more grants. And we have big dreams. We want to get our own big space in Wargle where we can do music instrument building. Yeah. We can do rehearsals. We can do small scale concerts. I have no idea how we will find the money to do that yet, but it's just, we'll start things and work towards that goal.
Yeah. Start with a dream.
Yeah. Yeah. We're going to start step by step. Because we want to do much more ambitious projects and we need an alternate way to raise funds. Because I've getting to the stage, I normally like self-sponsor all my projects, but I'm getting to the point where I can't go as big as I want to. And, yeah, money is the limiting factor. And so we're trying the nonprofit and see how we go with that, if that will help us attract members and people who will help us develop that. And we are actually also hoping to hire someone. We've got a job opening, the McCaffrey family. It's marketing 15 hours a month for about $35 an hour. We're looking for somebody to take care of our marketing and sponsorship development strategy mainly. And so we're currently on the lookout. So if you know anyone who's into that, get in touch. And as goal is to just offload so that I can focus on my creative visions and not get tied down and try to do every single thing. Because at the moment for my shows, I do everything and it's a little bit insane.
It's a lot of work.
It's a lot of insane, especially when you're coordinating about 50 people in a show. Yeah. And yeah.
Do you have a type of building in mind? You said you wanted to do rehearsal spaces and stuff.
Well, I would love to buy this whole area, but like all the buildings in this area, that would be good enough. But there's also some industrial spots in down near Kmart that would be good too.
Oh my gosh!
But or the old Year 9 building for the St. Paul's building. I don't know what that's being repurposed to right now.
I don't know. It looks empty every time.
Yeah, it looks empty. I know. It's planned. There's plans to turn that into a school. That would be a perfect location too. I do want something ideally though that's good location, like easily accessible to people from Wargle.
Like this.
And I need it to be in Wargle because I want to stop traveling as much as I do because at the moment. Travel is just taking up so much time. And we're hoping we can put in things like recording studio and, a really good orchestral rehearsal space. And we can get timpanis and all those percussion instruments. At the moment, even if we bought them, we got nowhere to put them. So, and we like to collect those over time. And, as we build up our youth orchestra, the maintenance of instruments is becoming like prohibitively expensive. So we would like to start to learn how to have our own workshop where we can do the woodwind, brass, and string repairs, and also maybe building as well at some point. And then we'd be able to do workshops where we could bring in an expert, luthier or something, and do workshops with us as we learn to build those skills.
The West Gippsland Concert Band got a grant last year to do a music, instrument first aid course.
Yeah.
And that's something that's upcoming this year.
Yes, I will be certainly very interested to know about that because I've got too many woodwinds now that they all need maintenance, and I'm like, I don't know, I can't afford to. I was like, I bought these instruments, but now, oh crap, I'm also going to factor in the cost of maintaining them.
Yeah, you just don't think about it, do you?
I know, it's very expensive.
You're like, oh, that key's stuck again.
I know, you definitely need to learn to how, especially with my instruments being on the lower quality end, they need even more maintenance than usual. So, that's our big project, Creative Communities Australia, coming soon.
Exciting.
Do you know how to tune a piano, Malcolm?
I did it once.
Yeah?
I wouldn't recommend doing it myself. It took me 10 hours. I've got the tuning hammer. If you want to try, I'll donate you my tuning hammer because I'm never going to try it again.
I mean, that can be part of what you do your project.
Well, because we would get grand piano eventually in our space, and then ideally we'd like to learn to do all those maintenance tasks ourselves or have somebody learn to do it. but like maybe with some training from an expert. I tuned my piano once and it literally took me 10 hours. And these days I cannot afford 10 hours of time. That was when I didn't have kids, so it was possible.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
Oh. You sort of have a different perspective of time once you have kids and work, and
It does. Yeah, it topsy-turvies everything. You know, like it used to be work, but now it's like kids. Sports.
Well, it's like everything. Like I used to love doing really elaborate, fancy cooking, and now it's just like I'm looking for every shortcut in the book to make my dishes faster and easier and less effort.
Yep.
Wow.
No, I hear that.
Yeah. So anyway, that's good. I think we have. I think we probably have enough content. Was there anything else that we were supposed to? I think we got heaps, man. That was like 36 minutes, man. That was even longer than expected.
No, I think that's all.
Yeah, that's good. No, you're a great guest.
Yeah,
thank you for coming, Davina. It was awesome to have you.
Well, I was very flattered. I'm like,
oh
my gosh, what will I say?
Our debut guest, Davina.
I know, right?
And was brave enough to come speak with us.
Yay.
That's awesome. All right.
Oh, I also want to say that I'm doing Diary of a Wimpy Kid next week. Well, this week when the podcast comes out. And it's my birthday on Monday when we have a double dress rehearsal day. And when I knew it was my birthday coming up, I was like, I hope I'm in the theatre on my birthday. I'd be sad if I am not. So I get to be in the theatre on my birthday.
Yay.
And I've asked my band if we can go out for a band dinner after.
That's nice.
So
that's awesome.
Yay.
A perfect day.
Yeah, I think so. Let's hang out.
Yeah, that's good. Good Ash theatre person. Theatre on your birthday. Perfect.
Yay.
Yeah.
Beautiful.